Hey, this is Jordan Rudess of Dream Theater, and you're listening to RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We're here with three members of the group ShwizZ, who have just completed, or nearly completed, their new CD. Guys, tell the people who you are.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Frank.
Andy. Gianluca.
So Frank, Andy, and John are here to tell us about their studio work that they've been producing with several other people in the band, and it's about to come out, I hear.
Yeah, we're releasing it officially on May 19th, which is a Tuesday. We have our epic release show at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn on May 16th with our friends from town, Mr. Breakdown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So let me ask, is the CD completely mixed?
It's completely done. It's
mastered,
mixed, and pressed. It's on its way back to us, where we can then pop a bottle of champagne and celebrate the completion of this record. My good side, my bad side.
Very nice. My good side, my bad side. And so is that the name of the
Yeah, it's a double album.
New CD?
It's a double record. It's pretty much an eclectic mix of everything we've done over the past few years as a band together, this version of the band, since Luca and Andy joined. And it's been over a year in the making, this record. It's definitely taken a lot of turns.
Mm-hmm. Is this your first CD, or is not the first CD?
This is the band's second release. Our first release was a self-titled album that came out about 5 years ago. So this has definitely been a long-awaited follow-up to the record.
And what's different in this, the last process, this new recording production that you've done that is slightly different than the first one? How has it compared?
Well, the whole process was totally different. We worked with two different engineers to start recording the record, and the way that we approached the record in the studio, we decided to kind of leave the live show behind and really utilize the studio for what it is. It's an instrument on itself. So we've definitely taken our time to bolden up our sound and really make it more of a journey to listen to. We kind of left the jam out of the studio.
So instead of going in with songs completely finished, beginning to end, you sort of elaborated and expanded upon them in the studio? Did you retweak things?
We did
found new areas?
Yeah, a little retweaking here and there on certain songs that we've had written, but everything that we put onto the record, we went into the studio, and those songs were complete. We went in there to perform the record in the studio. And then over the course of a year, we were listening back, and we've changed a few things here, make it cool, really for the listener and for us too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into at least one song right now, just to keep the people interested in some music. So from the title "Bad Side, My Good Side" CD, we're going to listen to first?
We're gonna listen to a take from "Bad Side," the title track from that side, "My Bad Side."
That was My Bad Side from the new CD.
Indeed, it was.
Boy, that's really progressive rock there.
It's a far cry from what the first record sounded like.
It did. Well, I asked that question earlier. That is one of the differences. The first record was what, less prod?
It was more horn driven and funkier. It was also a complete different incarnation of the band. A lot has changed since then. We've kind of mixed in a lot of other styles of music since then, and that song was particularly heavy. On the first album, there was really no real metal influence in it. And not that that's what we're all about. We have a lot of different sides to us.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, over 5 years, individually, one evolves, and then collectively, you evolve. So you're absorbing so many other genres of music. So this CD has a multitude of genres that you have brought to the recordings. Mm-hmm. So over the last 5 years, so what have you been getting into that you brought to this new recording?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've mixed in a lot heavier influence here. That song, yes, was very heavy, but we can play another track and it might not even be recognizable to be us if that's what you were basing our sound off of, because we don't just sound like that. We've mixed in other influences. The funk has always been there, but I think it's gotten a lot proggier. We do mix in some Latin influence and some live electro type of influence as well. Mm-hmm. And
of course, and you guys are well known to be playing these festivals. I know Frankie is always posting up stuff on Facebook, as well as the rest of the band. The Catskill Chill?
Catskill Chill, yeah. They just announced their lineup this past Tuesday. And we're excited to be back for the 5th year running.
Right, so you've done these festivals.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of festivals. So you're used to being in front of masses of people who are interested in enjoying the music.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
The best part, to get the reaction, to get the feel, the feel of the crowd, and just everyone bobbing their heads, whether they know the music or they don't. It's just the whole fan, interaction. That's the best part.
Would you say your performances are like 50-50 with outside festivals as well as inside performance showcase style?
It's this time of year, so it's outdoor season.
Now's the season.
Now's the season to be outside. I know I very much prefer to be playing outside. It just feels better. It just ultimately sounds better. But I'd say safely around this time of year, definitely 50-50. More outdoors, but once the fall comes in, after Halloween, it gets a little too chilly.
Right. Unless you go south.
Right, unless we do go south.
Well, are you planning anything with this new CD in terms of touring? Are you starting to schedule out or see if it's possible to get outside of our regional Northeast?
Yeah, we've definitely recently discussing shopping out to other booking agencies and getting some extra help, because we're all in-house management and booking and promotion, and we've got to the point where it'd be nice to have a helping hand, and with that would come some kind of a tour.
Yeah, I mean, we've reached out. We've played up in Boston. We play a whole bunch, Oneonta area, up north.
Baltimore a few times.
Baltimore has been a really hot spot for us. We played at
all over the Northeast.
Yeah, Vermont.
Up and down Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so you've traveled hundreds of miles.
Yes,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Hundreds of miles.
It'd be cool to start going further south and further out west. We got to that point where it's the next step. So.
Anyone listening, you can go right now to ShwizZ.com to find out more, hear more about the band. It's a really terrific website. Well done.
ShwizZ.
Yeah, we're about to actually relaunch a site. So with the day the album releases, you can have a brand new website up there. All sorts of new merch, ways to download the record, and
new footage.
It's going to look really nice.
Yeah, a whole new experience. That's what we're going for. We want to separate ourselves. We're trying to get everything very focused. A very focused, cohesive look to everything, and with the new album coming out, we thought it was a perfect opportunity for us to say, you know what, let's start fresh and go from there. So it's really exciting for us, and I think for the fans as well. Just
of course, with new material,
whole brand new thing, new material, new everything. So it's going to be awesome.
Terrific. And in shifting gears here with the genre of music, that was progressive.
Yeah, totally.
Progressive rock for sure.
Totally, absolutely.
In its finest state. And so let's shift gears with music. What do we have that displays another style or other influences?
There's also a lot of jazzy influence and blues influence in the record too. The next track we were going to play was from the other side of the album.
You introduce it.
The title track is "Slow Down," which some of you have probably heard us do live, but this is a completely new spin on the song, which is really cool. We slowed it down, and this is the abridged version for your listening pleasure. So,
and the name of the track
is "Slow Down."
Slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
Hey.
Funky.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Funky, but soulful.
Yeah.
Got a little soul in there too, and the horns are coming in.
Yeah.
All right, so that is a little departure from the first track.
Yeah, that
Quite a
gives you
360, I would say.
Yeah, it gives you a really good idea that there are a lot of turns in the sound on the record, which is really cool. It's a very eclectic sound. We all have a lot of influences, and it shows on the record.
It certainly does, and it's so musical. I mean, you can't help but hear the musicality of each individual musician getting there, and a great recording that is too. Where was it recorded again?
That was recorded with our friend John Guth at his studio over in Valley Cottage.
Okay,
And,
shout out.
A lot of it was done.
A lot of the
actually
tracking was done
in
there.
in our own home studio.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the basic tracks, the drums and the bass were
Bass.
John's.
Although
and the
John
rest.
Guth did mix the most of the album, so that's for sure. But
Does he have a name of a studio?
no.
Official name?
I
think
wish
he
I
does.
knew it.
I think I don't
If you're listening, John, I would love to know that.
You can
But,
call in
remember.
845-353-2910 if you're listening right now.
John, if you're listening, we still love you. No.
But there's also as he was saying, a lot of the tracking
A lot
was
of it.
done back at.
I do want to mention that we put like countless grueling hours, on our own, which was pretty cool. Which is a great liberty because I know a lot of the, our contemporaries and bands that we're friends with that are doing the same thing, didn't have the opportunity to really, be perfectionists about their album. They paid a fee or something, and they had, only enough time with the money that they had paid for it. But we tracked the drums and the bass with Guth, and then we put so many hours. It's a lot of hard work and listening, and it's great. Actually, it's really a great privilege to be able to spend so much time on our own record. Although in a way, it made it mentally stressful at times because also as your own worst critic, you hear a track, you're like, I don't like it, let me change it. You can change it 1,000 times until you're blue in the face and insane. And
Right, rather than the time element making a decision
Yeah, like,
for you.
all right, gotta move
it actually
on.
makes it harder in some ways.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great thing to be able to do. That's what we were saying. We took a lot of liberties to be creative within the studio environment and kind of get these ideas upon arrangement. And we brought in a lot of guests, like on that last track. Vocalist Marin Azov.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Who's a great Nyack celebrity.
Vocalist.
Amazing
She's
vocalist.
one of the coolest people to work
gives you
with.
goosebumps, when you're watching her perform.
Yeah.
She performs in lots of bands in this area, including Abajada, which is a big band, in this town here.
Yeah, man, they're working hard.
But she added a great vibe to it on that song. Just gave us a little extra something there.
She's also a guest on another song that was actually mixed by.
Which we will play in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
6-time Grammy Award-winning producer, engineer Frank Filippetti. So he was awesome. He helped us out tremendously on this one track called "What Does It Mean."
So it sounds like it really all came together for this one.
We
You
pulled
really committed. You made a serious investment in time, serious investment with collateral, capital, and musicality, where you dedicated a lot of time to put this in.
If you want to do it right,
Yeah, but not only that, but a lot of other elements
right.
came into your sphere.
Well, it's really cool because like Marin is in and out of the studio space all the time. So it's kind of fun that when your friends pop in and then all of a sudden they're part of your record making process because they're
You allowed that to happen because you opened up such a large piece of your life.
That's true.
It allowed for this extra, special stuff to come into it. If you weren't working by the clock,
Right.
and so that allows for random special events.
Well, it's funny that you say that because this track, "What Does It Mean," right? So Filippetti mixed it. He was a friend of mine. I asked him, and he was totally cool with mixing it. And speaking of surprises or thoughts, it was kind of like we were listening to the track. We were on our way up to, I think it was Oneonta, our show, right? So we're listening to a track, trying to get a feel for what the album is. And all of a sudden I had this idea that just came to me. I was like, I would love to add a choir to this particular song. What does it mean? And it was literally like we had a week and a half to do it because it was going to go and be mixed and so on. So we had to figure out, okay, who's in this choir, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out. We send out kind of text messages to all our friends, Marin and my girlfriend and sister, and all these friends that we have in Nyack and in the area. They're all musicians and people like that. And we just said, hey, if anyone's interested, meet here at this time at this place, and we're gonna have a little fun. And we all kind of just figured it out. I mean, we were all there. We didn't have any. It was just an idea that I had, but we didn't have an actual arrangement set up. It was just kind of like, all right, let's just figure it out there. So we got the choir. We call them the choir of friends, basically. And we all went to Filippetti's studio, and he recorded us, and we just kind of went from there. So
brilliant.
It was a great experience.
It was awesome because we're working with, again, a Grammy Award-winning producer. I mean, he's worked with Billy Joel, Meatloaf, Carly Simon. I mean, you name it. Korn. I mean, he's worked with people.
He did Wicked too. Did a lot of Broadway.
Yeah, he's done Broadway stuff.
After working with him, it was easy to see why he's such a success. The guy's a true professional. He's been doing it, longer than we've been alive, basically.
Yeah, I mean, all the songs that you know.
He really inspires in the studio environment too. Like he gives off a great positive energy and input. Like he gives you suggestions and things like that. But he does it in such a way where you're inspired to do what he's saying because his ideas in fruition sound great. He's got a lot of experience.
So you also had a lot of trust.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for someone
and
like
trust
that.
in the universe.
How could you not trust a guy like that? You're in the guy's studio and like you're sitting in rock and roll awesomeness.
You're
all over his walls, and he's very constructive too. It wasn't an intimidating experience.
That was great.
I first walked through the door scared out of my shoes, and then the guy was as cool as anyone I've ever met. It was really fun to work with him.
Yeah, so it was an experience for all of us. I mean, obviously to work with someone of that level, it was incredible for all of us, and it was just something that I hope this band could kind of take with them to the next level and so on and so forth.
Absolutely, and so far the music certainly represents this. Really great coming together of all of these talents. So we wanted to hear what does it mean?
Yeah,
sure. Is that it? You want to introduce the song? Who's on this track?
So we're all on this track. We have Marin as well. She makes a little appearance.
And she's also a part of the choir of friends that are on this track.
Right.
At the end. This is one of the newer tunes on the record, and it's definitely kind of the direction that the band took when we were in the studio. It's got it goes from like this alternative rock thing to like this Devil Horns arena rock. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, you can hear a lot of influences from a lot of different bands in this one.
Take a look at the clock, get a sense just where I am. Take a walk around the block, I threw away all I can. I kept it all in a box to remind me what I am. Just a man, I'm just a man. Tongue, I can't stand the taste of blood. my tongue. I can't stand the taste of blood that I shed for nothing.
That was, What Does It Mean?
What does it mean?
That was off of the good side.
What does it mean that this music is so heavy, sweet? It's got edge, but it has such fluid movement that just rises above any earthly plane. I mean, it's almost unbelievable music. I mean, you guys,
that's awesome.
I applaud this effort, because knowing musicians, there's all sorts of genres out there in the world, but this is construction, this is orchestration, it's composition, and it is such a wonderful collection that you guys have actually come together. How long have you known each other before the first CD? How have you guys known each other forever?
No, I mean, I've only known them for about 3.5 years. I've only been in the band for about 3 years or so. I would say 3 years.
So you're not on the first CD?
No.
No, neither is
Andy, no.
Oh,
and neither is the other guitar player, Billy.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new band.
Yeah, Ryan, the guitar player, ShwizZ himself, and myself are the remaining surviving members of the first record.
They've been playing since they were
Ryan and I have been playing together for over about 10 years, maybe a little bit more now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you guys really knew what this was going to sound like at the end.
We had kind of an idea of what we wanted it to sound like, but we didn't realize it was going to sound this big.
Right.
Yeah. It was really exciting. It was exciting when we started finally getting the first mixes back, because before things go out for mixing and EQing, and you can't really get an idea of how it's going to sound, if it's going to be sparkly or not. And it came back sparkling, and it was really not a relief, but it was really made me even more excited.
Rather than just getting it right and getting through the whole track without a mistake and everyone being on their marks and actually laying down the tracks,
right,
then you can relax a little bit and actually listen to what's coming back at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it must have been just...
Well, that was one of the hard parts, was like, so when we got the mixes back and we're listening to like the flow of the album, one of the things that I really tried to do was, so we were listening to these songs for a year, and more, because some of these songs they were playing, I was playing with them a while ago, you know.
Yeah, a lot of this music is road tested.
You're listening,
This is why it's got it so fluid.
Yeah. Now, you know, when you're listening to it on the CD player, and you know that the next step is basically CD duplication, the hardest part, but the most rewarding part, is actually when you try to take yourself out of the fact that this is you, this is your band. You know, like I was just telling the guys actually while what This Is Me was playing, was even if I didn't, you know, I wasn't in this band, if I heard that song, I would say that song is awesome. I want to listen to this band. You know, that was that was how I ended up kind of getting into the band, was that I heard them playing in Nyack, and you know, I would jam once in a while with them at Olives, and it was kind of like, oh, these guys are cool. This is the kind of sound that I want to be in. You know, not just like regular stuff, like something a little bit more advanced, something that you got to think about. So yeah, I mean, that was the hardest part for me, but also the most rewarding, was separating myself and looking at it from this is the first time I heard this song, as opposed to this is the millionth time I heard it. And when you listen to it like that and you really try to take yourself out of it, you really step back and say, you know what? This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, because you just get yourself so involved, and you know, you start nitpicking, and I don't like this or I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't think you guys did too much of that.
Well,
there was a lot of nitpicking.
Really?
Yeah,
we're all
don't tell me that.
Well, actually, you know,
because it sounds like to me, it sounds like such a release of music. It's like it must have been a joy and such a pleasure to release this stuff and set it free. Where it now takes on a life of its own outside of your own personal.
It's nice to let the bird leave the nest. It feels really good to like put a stamp on it and move on to new music.
Oh yeah, fly away.
We've played so many places, you know, over the last, you know, I've been in the group I think for
over 4 years.
Over 4 years, we played so many shows and we didn't have, you know, a studio product of it, because like we said, the first album was so vastly different. So yeah, it was a great relief to finally be at least even being in the process of having a studio album to go places with, you know, because I mean, first of all, I was kind of sick of people asking me for a CD,
right?
And you know, and we want to give them something, you know, we want to give the fans something to take home with them and to treasure on their own,
fill their heads with.
And granted, there's a lot of live footage of us out there, and you know, we definitely garnered a reputation for putting on a killer live show, you know, powerful experience, you know, if you want to say that. From what
you can say that.
Said. And but yeah, it's finally great. And you know, a lot of people, you know, were skeptical to see, you know, if it could be recreated, this live feel, you know, in the studio. And I think we did that. Yes, we took some liberties and creative liberties to embellish on the record, but you know, we wanted to be artistic about it. I mean, once we got into it, you know, we kind of said, you know, in our heads, we'd say, you know, it'd be cool. Let's try this. Let's add this to that, and in turn, that actually now affected the way that we play the stuff live as well.
Right, it totally influenced that. Absolutely, it took what we did on the record and just made the live experience way better, because now we know what it can sound like, and we know again how much work and energy we put into it. And we're gonna, you know, at the album release party, we're gonna play the entire both sides, front to back, through, just cool. As if it's on the album.
And then our friends Breakdown are gonna take on the rest of our party, because we want to dance to it.
That is so cool. And once again, for our people listening, that Knitting Factory in Brooklyn is the official
release, and then the CD is officially released to the world that following Tuesday. So
iTunes.
Will you have CDs at the show?
CDs, all of our new merch at the show. Anyone that donated to our Indiegogo campaign, thank you so much, because we wouldn't be putting out this record if it wasn't for you guys.
We
raised
money.
That was huge.
It was
because of
so huge. And
big up. But people believe in you.
This is definitely the record for them and the people who have been following us for the past few years.
Well, I think you've made them very proud to be a part of this, and you've certainly put the work in. But it's you guys love it. This is what you're made to do, and you did it. You did it. And the Knitting Factory is May 16th.
Yes, we're gonna have a bunch of guests from the record come out and sit in with us and try to recreate the record as it is.
Yeah. And what's the? I know you guys are into art, also artwork and a lot of artistic. photographs. I know Paul's a photographer also.
Yeah, Paul, right, our percussion player, Paul Holland.
Yeah, and I know his work, but you're very much into art, and what's the CD look like?
I'll show you right now. This is actually part of the concept.
Well, we had a lot of ideas as to, some sort of concept or art, and being as complicated as we are,
This is your screen because of the privacy thing.
Yeah, pick it up on your screen.
Yeah.
We decided to just go with, a collage basically of
ShwizZ.
all of ShwizZ, of all these. We've had so many hilarious and funny experiences and just memorable experiences over the years playing at these festivals and traveling around a little bit.
Yeah,
and we've encountered characters and just had different jokes and funny experiences, and we tried to include a lot of those in the artwork.
Right, and the artwork is also tied into a lot of the lyrics and song titles. So we tried to make it interactive for the listeners. So what's really cool is if you really pay attention to the word, the lyrics, or just you have to be really you got to look in the tiny detail, and all of a sudden this one little thing will be like, oh, now I get it because Frank said this in that song, and okay.
Yeah.
And we wanted it to be interactive.
It's kind of like a story. I kind of like to think of it. It looks like a storybook. It's like two different storybooks.
So who put it together?
A friend of Ryan's. His name is Patrick Mora. They've known each other for a long time.
Okay, to the cover art,
incredible
design.
artist.
Yeah, I mean,
hold that up.
We threw at him a million different ideas, and he
bad side
never
next to it?
shied away at anything. He did a great
I
job.
don't know if you guys can see that, but that's good side.
Hold it still.
We actually have two different album
still.
covers for each side. There's the good side.
This
and
is the
bad
good side album cover. You can actually check out the album art on our Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.com/ShwizZ, Twitter.
You got that,
ShwizZ
Rich?
the band.
Now next to this is the bad side album art, which is kind of like it's a play on duality. And as you see, there's more ShwizZ. We got a little cabin from Chillfest up there. There's cackles. It's definitely cool.
Really?
Don't give it all away. You gotta have them search for it.
I know.
You gotta have them search for it.
But I'm excited.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, if my first impression of it is there is a lot of dimension, a lot of texture, a lot of experiences, and it's amazing how much you can actually fit into a
It's wild.
5-minute piece of song or a 4x4, whatever the size of it is.
Yeah, it's incredible. The detailing that he did was when we got the draft, we were like, wow, this is serious. But then once we got it colored in and all the little sketches, it was just, I couldn't believe someone can actually do that. That's how really detailed.
I was really nervous myself.
Yeah, me too.
Like, to give this guy so many different things, like, I thought this guy must be hating us right now.
Yeah, we onslaughted him with ideas.
He never questioned any of it. It took some time to develop it, and then I was skeptical because I didn't even think anyone could really pull off what
5 dudes yelling at him.
Yeah,
try this, try that.
We didn't make it easy for him, for sure.
No. Well, that's okay. It's nice to have higher levels to strive for, but it does represent the immense amount of items, images,
work
that goes into the music. Really representative of the musical textures also.
Yeah.
It's not simple music. It's beautiful and it's blended together and mixed nice, but there's so much percolation going on in there. So that's a really good representation of it.
Yeah.
So kudos to the artist who designed that. And you can really see the full version of that on ShwizZ.com.
Yeah.
And their Facebook page. Yeah. ShwizZ.
That's definitely
one and only ShwizZ.
Yeah, that's definitely an album cover for all you trolls listening. Definitely dedicate a lot of that to
Again,
you
there
guys.
is no C in ShwizZ.
Yeah, there's no C in ShwizZ.
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 We will say that we have a very special guest. We won't say what song he plays on, but Mr. Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater. If anybody knows him out there, he's a keyboard player. He was very nice, actually extremely nice, to lend his talent to our record.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
So grateful for that.
It was awesome to have, again, someone else, that has the experience, that has, the love and passion for music like we do, and of course the talent like him. You can't. So
it's good company.
Yeah, it's awesome, and of course he's a great person. He's a good friend of mine for many years. So to have him on this is a blessing for all of us.
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever have the opportunity to play with this guy. And, he actually sat in with us, which will be a video that will be released, as soon as we get done with all the other million things we have to do. But that night, I had been working all
so true.
I had been working all day, and we did. It was the Black Friday ball, right?
Yep.
We play every year with our buddies Ficus.
Big shout out to Ficus. Thank you.
At Olives in Nyack here, which is a place we've grown a lot. We used to do residency there weekly, playing every Thursday.
So you coagulated in Nyack.
Most of it, yes.
A lot of it, yeah.
Where are you from individually?
We're all from Rockland County.
Yeah, all from Rockland. I live in Congers, and these guys are Nyack and Pearl River, Frank, right?
Yeah, I went to school Pearl River.
Holy mackerel. So I guess they don't call it Rockland for nothing.
Yeah,
there we go.
Nice.
Back to Jordan Rudis, though. He ended up. I got out of work. I rushed down to this Black Friday ball. It's packed with people, and then this guy says,
all last
"This
minute.
guy just says Jordan Rudis is going to sit in." And I was like,
Yeah, it was
"What?
last
Are you
minute.
serious?" I mean, I wanted to mentally maybe prepare for that, but it ended up being a
Probably
great
better you
experience.
didn't.
Yeah, it was a wild
maybe not.
experience,
Maybe I
man.
would have overthought it a lot, but it was a killer experience. The guy just completely wails. I mean, he's pure musical genius, and yeah, I'm so grateful. We all are really grateful that he's able to, that he was, he was on the record.
Yeah,
he played on the track that we called Duggan.
I think it's a real indication on the level you guys are hitting, on where you've gotten in your careers, and with this CD, new recordings. I mean, it is definitely a marker of great things to come.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope so.
Definitely know that this is a really good stamp our name on this point in time.
Monumental.
Yes,
Monumental
a
music.
monumental record.
You do it, you got to do it right. And I think
So-
that's what we did.
Unbelievable. And if you've heard these cuts, you'll agree. Once again, the official CD release party in Brooklyn at the Knitting Factory on May 16th.
The late night show, so we're hitting around midnight, and then our friends Mr. Breakdown are going to close the party out so we can all come out and mingle with you.
The whole album. You want to hear the
The
album?
whole album?
Come to the
Yeah.
Knitting Factory.
Live.
We're gonna have lots of guests. A lot of the people that played on the album will be there.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, we're not gonna say who exactly, but we wanted them to be there to celebrate this with us.
Yeah.
This is a celebration. It's not just an event that we're putting out because we have to. We're all really excited about this, and it's going to be great to recreate that live, and then have all the guests come in to really give us, really truly be able to recreate it.
As you said, we're just letting it go now.
Yeah,
Now
let
it's
it go
time
to
to
its
release.
thing.
We're letting it
I'm
happen.
excited that it's over. I'm excited that it's finished for everyone, but I'm also excited to move on to new music.
Yeah, but I would imagine that there's so much there that you haven't even gotten a grasp of everything that's there. Each time you listen to it, you must hear something else.
Yeah, it's true. I've been trying to lay off
Listening.
lay off for a little while
Yeah.
to get fresher ears. I've been driving in silence since we finished.
I do that.
Since we finished listening to the record, I gave the thing the car test. I was like, all right, silence.
Yeah, well, that's understandable for
Yeah.
sure. But it has so many unique, intricate musical nuances that it's tantalizing for your brain cells.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line between groovy and cerebral, and we definitely teeter on both sides of the line throughout the record. And it's a very, as you'd say, it's very musical.
Yeah, it's solid, yet it's air at the same time.
Very musical.
It's very solid. It's got all the greatness of any great album I've ever listened to.
Thank you.
Also, some more dates coming up is May 23rd for you people in Connecticut who might not come into Brooklyn, but there's no reason you can't travel to Brooklyn. And on May 29th, you'll be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we're going to be, on the 23rd, we'll be back at Arch Street Tavern in Hartford. Then the 29th begins our festival season. We'll be late night at the Good Times Get Down in Whitehaven, PA. Tickets available for that. And then the following night, we are going to West Virginia to Tripp's Farm to join a slew of friends.
It's called Dome Fest?
That's called Dome Fest. We've heard a lot of great things about Dome Fest. We'll be the late night on Saturday night with our friends Viral Sound.
So give us, for people who haven't been to an outdoor festival,
Big hits this better than
We're talking my game here. I mean,
So what happens at an outdoor festival? How many people generally attend these?
Varies.
Varies.
Size-wise.
Like the major festivals, like Vibes, which is like an hour away. It's like 30,000. Chill Fest always caps out at 5,000.
Catskill Chill Fest in Hancock.
That caps out at 5 because it's just the venue and it's awesome. I like how intimate it is. And we've played festivals where it's a couple of hundred people. It's really intimate and you get to meet everyone
it's like a
there.
pop kind of thing.
It's really cool. You know, like we're Hulavam every year, Vernon, New Jersey. We love going back there. A lot of great friends there, and it's a really intimate time, really good time. So if you like your nature and you have the energy to go out and kill your cell phone for 3 days, that's what we pretty much do.
Right, people bring tents, sleeping bags, their coolers.
It's an event. It's not usually, you don't typically go there for one day. I mean, it's usually a weekend.
A lot of things happen at these festivals. I mean, friends are made, bonds are made, love is made, you know, conglomerations are made, bands are formed, experiences are learned. You know, a lot of people have no idea about the culture of these festivals. You know, people are just not privy to it. You know, it's not something that's, you know, it's not easily accessible to know about it. And I definitely recommend that any music fan or art fan attends a true outdoor festival. I mean, granted, there are obviously people know Coachella and Bonnaroo are humongous festivals. Those are the most popular festivals in this country. You know, hundreds of thousands of people, I think. But that's not a true representation of like what the whole festival thing is about. Those are overly commercialized. You know, they're great. They're a lot of fun. That's an experience on its own. It's
mainstream.
Very overwhelming. There's so many things going on here. You're paying several $100s. You get big name artists, you know, but like on a smaller scale festival, which is one that I'd actually prefer to attend myself. You know, one that's 5,000 max is nice, you know, but like, you know, ones like Hulavam and another one called The Boogie that we've played, which actually it goes on upstate, kind of down the street from where Catskill Chill Fest is, except this festival has been going on longer than Woodstock.
47
Nobody
years.
knows about it, but gone on unadvertised. So, you know, it's not becoming like a commercial thing. Everybody plays for free. People there, you know, commune and a lot of like bonds are made, like I was saying. It's a beautiful thing. I think everyone should experience it. It's definitely a celebration of life. Like you'll find a lot of, you know, free art going on. People will be painting in front of the stages.
Oh yeah, that's
people are selling arts and crafts and clothing,
making it right there. Yeah,
it's really cool. It's a whole other world.
Yeah, when you're hanging with thousands of people,
yoga sometimes too,
for the same reason, you know, and trying a little yoga, right? Meditation. People walking around playing flutes, whatever. It's something you don't see.
For sure.
On a day-to-day thing, so it is a special celebration.
Maybe in Haight-Ashbury in the 60s, you might have experienced that too, walking down the street. But
well, that is the romantic version.
That's, I guess, where it really starts from.
No, I think it's really happening more now in a much more, how shall I say, uncorrupted, where it's not made to be corrupted, and I think a lot of the 60s has gotten into which. The record industry was born in the 60s where they figured out how to make as much money from it or how not to let people in, and the internet didn't exist. The only thing that would come to mind would probably be a Grateful Dead concert where people did get together and the Grateful Dead would play for hours and hours and allowed people to record at any and every concert. There was always all these tape recorders in the air recording their concerts, not at anyone else's really. So that would be similar, but this is tenfold that.
Oh yeah,
you know, and so this aspect of music performance festivals has really grown and has gotten to this wonderful point.
It's actually one way that bands like us actually survive because record sales suck. I mean, most of this, we're going to wind up giving most of the record away, of course, because we want people to listen to it. So a lot of bands they depend on festivals.
Yeah, all the bands.
The best way to get your music out is by playing it to people, and people go to these things to find bands like us.
Right.
All the bands, you know, that are not, you know, monopolized music industry, you know, like the huge artists that are making billions of dollars, you know, well, they also make a lot of money off touring too, but they have record sales as well. But within the community of artists that like us and among this festival scene, per se, it's all about touring. The only way to survive, like he said, is to tour. Like some of these guys don't see home for months at a time.
Yeah.
And that's how they garner fans. There's, you got to take it into your own hands now, because like I said, the music industry is so monopolized. It's, there's only a couple majors, and then on the other hand, it's so easy to be able to put out your own music now. Anyone can do it. You can even do it yourself. If you have the right skill set, it will sound good. But it's still about like, giving away your CD or making it extremely accessible, and then just touring your butts off and reaching people that way. And, connecting with the people with your music, and then also based on the fact that you're going to a show and then you're done after and you're there. We're not superstars, obviously. A lot of these bands aren't either. So they're making interpersonal connections with these people too.
Right. Well, you're on. Yes, because it is that celebration aspect again, where you're celebrating the people, they're celebrating you, the musicians.
It's like that's our part there. Like those people, like those hoopers and painters, like that's their part of their celebration. Like everyone's bringing it's like a potluck of love and life. And this is what we bring to the table. Is we bring you the vibration.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't want to use the word alternative, but it is to me an alternative to the commercial capitalism of the industry.
Yeah,
especially when you're in the outdoors, you lose that aspect of it.
It's so nice when your phone goes off for 3 days.
Yeah,
it's not connected to your email and all that crap for 3 days.
Yeah, man, you're taking people out of there.
You got to connect to the people next to you at the show. It's really cool.
Yeah, so you guys are pioneers, you're leaders in this new age of musical performances.
Social media, of everything. Yeah, we're trying as any outlet we can. I mean, just think of it. How many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, you just had the tape, you just had the vinyl. Now, here we are, we're talking about we're releasing a CD, but we're also releasing a digital. So you can hit it up on Spotify, on Pandora, on iTunes, all these different venues. There's not just the let's sell it out of our trunk kind of thing. Now it's like we can distribute it to the world, really. You can literally just say, go, and it just gets shot out to everyone. So that's the wild part about it.
We are doing. I mean, we actually through our Indiegogo campaign, we had a couple. We're gonna have to ship a couple CDs to Iceland,
places around the world. I
think, Australia,
Thailand,
which is wild to have a ShwizZ record in Thailand, or there's people that there's our contemporaries,
and there's booking agents in Indonesia.
Yeah, also, that's what I want to do. But just throwing out a feeler, if anyone out there knows how to get us touring in a foreign country, please help.
Japan would be cool.
We would love to do that.
How would they get in touch with you?
You can go through ShwizZ.com or ShwizZ Facebook. Just send us a message.
Yeah, we reply. It's us.
Yeah, you're talking to us. We're the managers here.
We're indie. We're all self-contained right now.
Yeah. Well, and to me, I feel such a strong commitment. Number one, to your own musical talent. Number two, to your bandmates' musical talents and career, where you're really in it together. You've really bonded as a musical unit, and this music is just the confirmation of that.
This is what we do, though. This is our priority in life right now for us. So we're that serious about it. We love it, but we're also really serious about it, and that's why we make a lot of sacrifices. One thing I think, not to like toot our own horns here, but I think what a lot of people don't, really understand that aren't trying to pursue the same thing is like, oh, your life is great, you just play music all the time and this and that. But at the same time, we've sacrificed, a certain path and career. Time with our families and friends. We've sacrificed a lot to try to pursue this, and nothing is actually set in stone. That I truly personally believe in our music, and I think that we can, take it to this level where we can actually. Not starve. I mean, I'm still working on the living. I'm still working on the not starving thing.
Yeah. Right. You didn't take a vow of. That's the thing. You didn't take a vow of poverty, did you? No. Good. Okay. I just wanted to.
Not on purpose. I think we're ever evolving as well. I mean, the music is changing. Like the new music that is being written, beyond this album, which we really haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it yet because our lives have been so consumed by this album for the last year. But the new music coming is going to be killer because, it was such a growth period for us making this album. You know, we all grew and evolved as, you know, our individual musicians, and now the music that we're going to be writing on, you know, beyond that is you know, further to the next level and ever evolving, like I said, which is I'm really excited about.
Yeah, it's definitely some next level. Definitely some next level stuff.
We're really excited about this album, but we're also really excited to, you know, move forward and keep going, keep pushing, and keep changing.
Of course.
Learning, all that.
Of course. Well, enjoy this moment for as long as you can, not just for yourselves, but for your fans. Once again, I'm speaking with ShwizZ, and you can go to ShwizZ.com or find them on Facebook. Once again, May 16th at the Knitting Factory.
Yeah, come on out, y'all. Celebrate the release of our baby with us.
And if you want to be here on the, what is it, the 8th or?
May 8th, we will be having a private listening party here.
Contact them for details. That would be a private thing. I couldn't be happier to have you guys here today.
Well, thank you so much for it. It's about time. It's been a long time coming since I got down here.
Congratulations.
Much, man.
Congratulations.
Just a quick hi to the Smile Art girls and everything.
Yeah, give you a shout out.
All of you trolls, I love you.
Thanks to everybody that involved.
Yes.
We're involved with the album, and Jordan Rudis, Frank Filippetti, you know, my brother Mike Boxer came and helped us with some of the vocal arrangements and stuff, and did a killer job. And I don't want to mention, I don't know who else to mention. There's so many, you know, Maddie, Carl, who's our sax player, spent a lot of time with it.
Generally, all of you fine people that have been our friends
There and
for us.
Family
supportive.
who's put up with us through all of this.
Yeah,
You know,
Girlfriend, everybody
who donated to Indiegogo, we're so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Like Frank said, we really couldn't have done without you. And
we look forward to seeing you at these shows.
Yep.
So once again, ShwizZ, thank you for being here on Rockland World Radio.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, this is Jordan Rudis of Dream Theater, and you're listening to RocklandWorldRadio.com.